and you're fully committed to working on the relationship, you guys can figure out, if two people genuinely care about each other, you can figure it out. That's why I'm a big believer of being committed to commitment. Lori wants to come back and say, I'm referring to the early stage of dating. Yes, but it's still kind of intense. Well, intense relationships that take off like a rocket ship will come back and crash down to earth. Because you're taking off without an emotional parachute. You're hyper. Remember, I said in the beginning of this conversation, the way I started this conversation, humans value pleasure more than substance and loyalty. We are hyper focused on pleasure. Why is it called the honeymoon period? Because it's hyper focused on pleasure. Okay, Rhonda just brought up a great question. Why is rejection taken so personally? Why is rejection taken so personally? I believe we feel like a victim when somebody chooses not to want to pursue something. So it's a self-worth response, and we operate like victims in this experience, that the other person oftentimes did something to us. They rejected us. Think of that, the language of the word rejection. I mean, the rejection, you know, but it's a self-worth response saying the reason why it's so hard or it feels devastating is because we don't stand in our power and say, I'm worthy of a relationship. If it's not right for you, it's just simply going, oh, okay, we're misaligned with one another. It's okay that we're misaligned. But to look at it as rejection, that's a victim mentality in the way I view it. As if and then we go and then when we crucify ourselves internally as if something is wrong with us, as if, okay, Rhonda says, I absolutely agree. Exactly. We take this so personally when it's just simply a misalignment between two people. If you haven't read the book, Conscious Uncoupling, The 5 Steps to Living Happily Ever After, in her book, Catherine Woodward Thomas book. And she, by the way, I'm in this book on page 220. 220. I think it's 220. Hold on a second. Somewhere here. Yeah. Page 219 and 220. I'm in this book. Okay. Now, you have to get the book. But what? Okay. The fundamental principle within conscious uncoupling is that when two people end a relationship, they do it with grace, they do it with honor, they do it with a level of diplomacy. Now, I understand that in many cases that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, okay? Hey, it's 5555. Okay, but in those cases, when someone says it abruptly, they ghost, they disappear, we internalize it as if something is wrong with us. There is nothing wrong with us. There is nothing wrong with us. It's just simply when we can look at it objectively and say, hey, if it's not right for one, it's not right for both. There is no rejection. It's just a person. Now, it feels like that. And honestly, this is where loving oneself, really loving oneself, is the protocol. And I get heartbreak, folks. I have experienced what feels like genuine heartbreak, but what I realized, the heartbreak was the disconnect from my own worthiness and the rewiring of that within myself, and recognizing that the relationship I was in was a beautiful, loving, kind relationship. And I'm very grateful for every moment. And it's okay if it's not continuing on. Again, when we can operate from an objective point of view, I believe we start to embrace that really important thing called self-love. Is this sinking in? Is this resonating with you? Please let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Post a comment below. I do my best to read them all in 24 hours. Terry says, let's be honest, rejection just hurts. Because we take it that way. The ending of the relationship hurts. The ending of the dream hurts, but it's not that the rejection hurts. It's the ending of the dream. It's the ending of the time. It's the ending of spending time with someone. That's what hurts. It's not the rejection. That's a self-crucifixion. Ava says, rejection can feel like there's something wrong with us. No, there's nothing wrong with us. That's the problem. What hurts is that we enjoyed this person and they're no longer in our lives. Just like when my son passed away, he's no longer in my life. That's what hurts. It's not, the rejection is something we do to crucify ourselves oftentimes. And that's not very valuable for us, I believe. Hey, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what I just shared. Post a comment below. I do my best to read them all in the first 24 hours. Hey, did you find value in this video? If you did, please hit that like button. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of new videos. And if you want to connect with me directly, hey, there's links below to schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with a coach is right for you. There's a link to join my group called Midlife Love Mastery. There's a link to get all the books I recommend, and to get my dating vows, and to follow me on social media, all listed below. All right, I'm going to wrap up this video as I always do. First off, giving myself a big, gigantic Jonathan Barrick of self-love. I'm going to reach into the camera and give you a hug of love if that's okay. I'm going to ask you to turn to someone, a pet, a teddy bear, a pillow, and give it or them a hug of love, because hugs are a great source of love. And let's face it, we could all use more love in our lives. I want to thank everyone who donated tonight. I want to thank Lori and Joe Daisy and Terry and Ava and Annika and V.I. Simmons and everyone. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, giving you all big, gigantic hugs, wishing you all a super duper wonderful evening. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.